Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back, awesome technologists. Welcome back to the podcast. So, school has started this week, and I don't know if I'm super excited or I'm kind of sad, but it's nice to be able to get back into the swing of things, especially when my kids are back in school. So, this is a good time because it gives me more time to work on a lot more things. So, hope you guys enjoyed the summer. Can you believe it? It's going to start getting cold again. I mean, fall is one of my most favorite times of the year. I'm very big into Halloween. I decorate more for Halloween than I do for Christmas, but I know how much my kids love Christmas, so I do decorate equally for both. However, I do decorate more for Halloween because that is my favorite time of the year, along with summer. So, hope you guys had an amazing summer, did some fun stuff. So, let's take care of a little bit of housekeeping because today's episode is going to be really good. Okay. So, if you missed my 3-day live event on how to be the go to CT tech, you can still access that replay through the private Facebook group. So I will drop a link in the show notes so you know how to go ahead and get access to that 3-part event. It's completely free. So make sure that you check that out. And it's really good information that I give you on how to be the go to CT tech. Also, I am going to release a new kind of a crash course for beginner technologists. It's going to be a lot of the courses that I have already included with the PDF guide and the ebook that I have created. I'm going to just combine those into a course bundle and go ahead and put it out to you guys. Okay. So it's going to be a lot of great videos. I've taken the Common CT and exams guide and I've broken that down into videos so that it's easy to understand as far as positioning and how to execute your scan. So I decided because I have been receiving DMs and emails about positioning, getting questions about that. So I decided to loop in all those videos and grab that as a course bundle to make it just happen for you guys. Okay. So make sure you check out the link below. The entire course will be available to you for $8.97. There's a lot of videos. There are a lot of PDF downloads. So it's a bunch of courses combined into one. So make sure you check out that link so you can go ahead and purchase the course. Last thing, the doors to my new coaching and mentoring program are now open. So I will be taking 10 spots for this round on 6 months of coaching with me in a container with a wonderful group of other technologists. I'm going to be taking 10 students to coach and mentor you so you can become the most successful CT technologist out there. So what I'll do is I'll get you test ready. If you haven't taken the CT boards, I'll get you test ready in 90 days. I will make sure that you are the go-to person so that if you walk into any facility, any hospital, any clinic, you're ready to scan. You want to take that traveling job, you're going to be ready to scan. Okay. So if you want more information on that, there's a link to check out all the details of my new coaching program and a link to apply to the program. So once you apply in 72 hours, I will go ahead and respond if you're a good fit or not. So make sure you check out all those links. It's good stuff. Okay. Now, let's get into today's episode, which is the buzz that has really been going on. I know if you guys have checked out my Instagram story, I did an awesome reel and a TikTok about what is the latest buzz as far as the Office of Management and Budget, that they are going ahead and reviewing to reclassify standard occupations, which it's a huge thing for. So I'm going to be talking about why your voice is important, why it matters, and why it matters to advocate for our profession. We do not want to be technical. We want to be professionals because that's what we do. Okay. So currently right now, the buzz talk is the OMB, so that's the Office of Management and Budget, is reviewing the classification for professions from 2018 to make possible revisions for 2028. Now, this is a huge thing because we have been advocating for years I know even when I became a technologist 23 years ago, this has been a topic of concern because we've always known that we are technical. We are never recognized as professionals like nurses, like doctors, respiratory therapists. We're more in the technical category. So now that this has sparked a lot of movement and a lot of talk to have our voice heard so they can reclassify us as professionals. Well, you might be asking yourself, why would they think that we should be reclassified? Listen, our profession has evolved and grown within the last 2 decades, probably in the last 3 decades, okay? There's new technology that is coming out. There are new educational things that are coming out. Technologists are getting higher degrees where you get technologists that are getting master's degrees, they're getting PhDs, becoming doctors with PhDs. There are positions in education and public health sectors and just different types of positions now that are created for radiologic technologists that we've never seen. Okay. The technology continues to advance. Things continue to evolve. We're taking different roles in different positions. So when we look at it from a professional standpoint, technically we are professionals in what we do because we have to go through radiation safety courses. We have to go through a lot of clinical experience, just like nursing. And we should rightfully so be recognized as professionals. Now, look, if you kind of, compare side by side as far as the clinical hours, the didactic courses, the things that we have to do as radiologic technologists, okay, there's nothing technical about what we do. Okay, we put in more than 1,000 hours of clinical hours to learn how to shoot x-rays, to learn how to position patients, to learn how to think outside the box as far as when we get a patient who's contracted, a patient who's combative, a patient who's altered, or a patient that is unable to move because they're paralyzed. We have to think outside the box a whole lot. And then on top of taking didactic courses where we have to sit in the classroom and we have to learn, or online, we have to know our anatomy and physiology. Like, we have to be able to pinpoint, different types of diseases and different types of abnormalities. And on top of that, studying for the registry. Okay, the registry has gotten harder and harder as the years have gone by. How do I know this, you may ask? It's because I actually sat on the CT committee for the ARRT for 2 years. And I could tell you, the way we devise those questions, it gets harder and harder and harder. Okay, because you want to challenge the technologists, you want to challenge their critical thinking. You have to make sure that they're going to be able to know what they're doing when they're operating on that floor with that patient, right? We have to get passing scores. We have to keep up with education requirements just to keep our license in good standing, just to make sure that we are knowledgeable in our job duties, just to make sure we are there, safely taking care of the patients. Okay. I got to hand it to you. We have the same level of profession as nurses, even though our jobs are completely different, but we are on the same page. And we should be recognized as professionals because we do a very professional job when it comes to taking care of patients. This has been a buzz, and the deadline was yesterday to go ahead and make public comment because they encourage public comments and to get your feedback on how we view this situation. And I'll tell you, the buzz was all over social media, and I made sure that I gave my own public comment because I'm a huge advocate to make sure that we are recognized as the professionals that we are, because that's what it's all about, right? So the topic that was for possible review, and I quote, It's addition of new detail occupations or occupational groups, including specifically care workers, with possible changes to major, minor, and broad occupation groups. Okay. So that is what is the topic of discussion. And they're going to review this and see if our voice is loud enough. Even though this deadline has passed, we still have to make a bigger impact. We have to keep advocating. We have to keep talking about it. We have to get in front of more people. If you listen to Collaboration RA's podcast, which I tell you, it's a fabulous podcast. They are huge when it comes to the advocacy piece, and they strive every single day to make sure that our voice is heard. If you listen to the Catheter Jockeys, one of the best podcasts I've listened to, I'm telling you, these radiology podcasts are the best out there. They also talk about being advocates and advocacy and, making sure that RAs get the same recognition as a nurse would or a radiologist would, right? So the advocacy piece is huge because it affects all of us. It does. Whether you care or you don't, it affects all of us. So the huge thing is to make sure that you get out there when things like this arise, or even continue to have the conversation to make sure that your voice is heard. Because I'll tell you what, somebody will be listening. Because if there have been shifts and movements on things that we have won as far as in our profession, people are listening. Okay. So I will drop a link so you can read exactly what that document is, because I went ahead and had it sent to me by one of my coworkers before the deadline actually passed, so I can go ahead and vote. So I will drop a link in the show notes so you guys can take a look at that document and see exactly what it is that they are in the process of reviewing. Okay. So I know this podcast episode was a little short, but that is my just TED Talk when it comes to advocacy in our profession. Radiology as a whole is the third largest profession in the country, okay, alongside nurses and doctors. So it is a very important thing that we advocate and that we go ahead and make our voice known to be seen and heard. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it's a little short. Make sure you check out my show notes, check out all the links, get your little butt in the program so you can get 6 months of coaching and mentoring from me. If you're interested in the 3-part live event that I did, you can access the replays. There will be a link, and you can get in on the private Facebook group, check out all the replays. Okay. And always, if you have any questions, if you have any, even a nice CT story, anything, please don't hesitate to email me. Email will be in the show notes. Okay. Follow along on Instagram. I do post a lot of good stuff on Instagram, so make sure you check out at the CT Educator on Instagram. So hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will go ahead and chat with you guys next week.